Mr. Boaty. Name's Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.
Good evening, my darlings, and a very warm welcome to Wednesday Night Live with me coming live in your eyes and ears, direct from Windy Bottom here in the unutterably gorgeous Peak District National Park. And I hope you're doing amazingly well. Today, I am feeling tired, but particularly splendid. I've had a pretty, oh shit, what's that doing there? Oh, it's that thing. Oh yeah, I did work out how this works. Oh yeah, it just clips together like that. That's very good, that is. Yeah, I've had a really good day, and I hope that you have too. And there have been some particular areas of splendidness, and I'll tell you what. One of those areas of splendidness is yet to come, and it won't come before midnight, but still counts as today. These are my supper darlings, and I haven't had these for about 2 years maybe, and I can't tell you how excited I am. Really looking forward to those. That's going to be a massive treat. So yeah, it's been we can talk about me later on, can't we? Let's talk about you, my lovelies. You tell me how your day has been, what you've been up to, what you've eaten, what you're drinking now, if you are drinking. What you've been up to this evening, tell me all about it. I would love to know. So, a very good evening to Matt, the lovely underscore. Good evening to Simone, lovely to have you. Good evening to Barry, always nice to see you. Chaz Brown, good evening. Steve Colk, the wonderful Mike of Classic Wheels Wales, who sent me a video that I started watching and then I had to go back to work, about his marina. And I think he sent me a link on WhatsApp, but I think it is on YouTube. And if it is, you guys need to watch it, because I only watched the first bit. I've not seen Mike on a video. Mike, Classic Wheels Wales, of course. I've not seen him on a video apart from on James Chop's Garage video, Mustard's video, and my video. But I watched the first couple of minutes of this video on his car. Oh my God, he's so, I mean, it shouldn't come as a surprise, because he's a really nice chap to talk to. I mean, he's a nice guy, full stop. But he's so engaging on that video. I can't wait to watch the rest of it. And if it is on YouTube, as I think it was, I'll stick a link up in the Facebook group, because you all need to watch it. I didn't know, well, I'm not sure that he does, but if he does, I didn't know that he did YouTube videos. Maybe I've missed a load, or maybe that's one of his first and it's going to be something amazing, but whatever, you need to watch it. And not just because Mike is one of us, so that would make his channel, if he has got one, a community channel, so we would support it anyway. But honest to God, do you know what somebody's like when somebody, they're just so engaging that you want to watch the rest of it. You want to know what they want to tell you. And it was like that. So, yeah, I'll be, anyway, the point is that Mike says monkey, mouse, cat. I've got no idea why he says that, but he does. He says monkey, mouse, cat. And he follows that up by saying, sometimes when it's really warm, I like to stand in front of a full-length mirror and tuck my little tinkle between my legs and pretend to be a woman. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I support that absolutely. It's a harmless little bit of fun. You're not hurting anybody, so why shouldn't you do it? That's what I think. And I'm pretty sure that most of you would agree with me. The only downside of today that I've just discovered and I'm really annoyed by, I used the bloody iPhone X thing, didn't I, for the lunch video today. Mustard's been here today. I went to the yard, picked him up, brought him back here. Oh God, we had a fabulous drive. And I made him lunch. And I used the bloody iPhone X for the lunch video because this one was out of battery. Totally unusable. Whatever was wrong with it is now so wrong with it that you just can't use it as a recording device, full stop. So I need to remember that and just use it purely as it's supposed to be a business phone. It's obviously got a different number to my personal phone, and it's supposed to, you know, it's the number that I display and play. I mean, I'm really bad at being business-like. Everybody knows my actual phone number, my personal one, and if you don't know it, it's pretty bloody easy to find. But that one is supposed to be set up as a business phone, and I need to use it just as that, really. And just remember that I can't record on that portable electric telephone. I can record on this one, on my elderly iPhone 6, and I think I can record on my new one, although it's not as good. The picture's better, but it's I don't think the audio is as good. But the iPhone X, complete waste. I'll play it to you. Listen to this. In case you think I'm exaggerating. Right. Hold on, let's find it. Okay, that is the, oh, you can't see, can you? Right, this is the lunch video. Listen to this. Can you hear that? Let's turn it on. Hear that? Let's get on some dialogue.
Yeah, I know what it is. Just make sure you try with my plate, you like that.
It's a chutney that's made with really expensive ingredients. So we would never make this, but this is chutney from yeah. Actually, bits of it are okay, but there's obviously, the microphone is obviously buggered and it kind of comes in and out. So I'll watch it all and see if I can put it through a program or something, because it wasn't a bad lunch video. I mean, I know none of them are actually any good, but it was less bad than some of them. So I'd like to save it if I could, but that's really annoying. But other than that, it's been a fabulous day. Now I'm going to keep up with the comments tonight, so I am. Regretting, says Matt, not heading up your way tonight. The sky looks amazing over that way. I had a stunning drive home. Oh, and that was another part of what's been wonderful about today. For various reasons, not least of which they desperately needed their wheels turning over, I took Shison tonight. Look, these are Shison's keys. There you see. And every time I drive that car, I just fall head over heels in love. They are just, there's no such thing as a perfect car, but Shison, I reckon, in my book, is pretty much as close to perfection as you will get. I've had a fabulous, and driving home, I left work at 10 o'clock. It was dead as a doornail tonight. I think we had about 5 takeaways, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 8 people in the restaurant, absolutely dead. So we made lovely supper. Oh, if you're wondering what those are, by the way, these are wraps, and it's so you've got marinated tandoori chicken in there, onion, pepper, then bits that I can't really describe to you, bases that we use for the restaurant dishes. So a kind of chili onion base, a chili tomato base, a right good dollop of Momo chutney in there, and that makes all the difference. And then we make like these special rotis. They're kind of in between a roti and a naan, buttered, and then we just make rolls with them. They're the best things. Haven't had them for ages, because you know they're a lot more expensive to make than staff curry, where we just buy a chicken. You know, £3 chicken will feed the whole restaurant worth of staff. But obviously, being Wednesday night, we're not heavily staffed tonight. There was obviously Ram and Gopi, the two chefs. There was Badri and Kancha in the front, and me. And Badri doesn't count because he's having a year of being a vegetableist. It's a weird Nepali thing that if a close relative dies, then you have to make yourself as miserable as possible for 1 year. You're not allowed to drink, you're not allowed to go to any parties, you're not allowed to enjoy yourself, you're not allowed to eat meat, you're not allowed to eat salt. You just have to wear certain clothes. You have to be as miserable as possible, basically, which seems odd. You know, to me, seems an odd way of doing it. You'd think losing somebody that you loved very much would be bad enough, without making it bloody worse for a whole year. You can't celebrate your birthday, you can't celebrate Diwali, you know, any celebration when everybody else is out enjoying themselves. You have to stay at home and just be sad for 1 year. I don't think that's healthy. I really don't. I like the Irish way that, you know, somebody coughs it and you go to the funeral and you shed a tear or 10, you know, you have a bit of a cry, and then you have a wake and you all get really pissed and eat a lot and have a bloody good laugh and, you know, remember the poor sod that's shuffled off this mortal coil and is now 6 feet under. Bugger making yourself miserable for a year. But anyway, tell us about your day, Boaty, says Simone. I will, I'll tell you all about it. I've already started, haven't I? I'm in the bath, says Matt, with a milky coffee to drink and some Rocky Bar. Also had green juice today. I'm really sorry to hear that. Cheeseburger is amongst us, in our midst. Evening all drinking Lost Lager. And Simone had a premiere up earlier. Still don't really know how these premiere things work. I'm at a book sale, says Barry. I've got a bag full of westerns and spy novels. Lovely. Steve Culk is eating a Big Mac meal. And Matt says, I like Big Macs. I like a cheeky Big Mac as well. I can't deny it and I won't deny it. People think that because I'm a food snob, people think that I couldn't possibly enjoy a McDonald's, and I bloody do. I love a Big Mac. Might have one tomorrow. I only have one phone, says Cheeseburger. Personal and business. You can always block people. And Cheeseburger goes on to say, I don't rate Apple phones, prefer Samsung. Mustard got a new phone that arrived yesterday. He played with it a bit last night and he broke it out today. That's a Samsung, the latest one. And I have to say, the picture looks absolutely stunning. It looked good on his old phone as well, but I like Apple. I like Apple stuff. I was a BlackBerry man. I had one Apple thing and I just thought, well, this is better. So then I got more Apple things and they all work really well together. And I like Apple stuff. Abuse me, call me a sheep, tell me I'm an idiot, tell me they're overpriced, by all means, but I like them. And why you would have anything other than than a MacBook or an iMac, I don't know. Now, ironically, I haven't got either at the moment. I've had both in the past. And, you know, in my experience, a 10-year-old iMac or MacBook is better than a 10-day-old Windows thing or Microsoft thing, whatever they're called. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to tinker with Pinky again tomorrow, says Simone. Yes, well, you live how you want to live. I might have a tinker with my own Pinky, who knows? Yes, indeed, Matt. Noti or Ron. A premiere up and playing with Pinky. Sound like someone's getting plenty of action. Does rather, doesn't it? Nepali death sounds like marriage, says Cheeseburger. Yeah, he's got a point. Mark on Motoring is amongst us and says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Mark. Hope you're coping with the heat. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I got my legs out today. Bloody hell. And I like this. Paul Smortion. Paul Smortion. If you knew my content, say Simone, you will know who Pinky is. I know who Pinky is. Pinky is your motorised bicycle. I know that, Simone. I have watched your videos and enjoyed them very much. So my day, I had a really, really good sleep. So good that I didn't want to wake up. And I kind of woke up. It was one of those mornings when I woke up and I just wanted to go back to sleep. I'd had a great sleep. I'd been tired. I still felt a bit tired. I was just really happy and enjoying it. But I got my ass out of bed, came downstairs, as you do. Got the doors open. Had a little glass of juice. Got the coffee on. Had my slice of toast because I remembered to buy the butter. So that was good. What else did I do? I got a short up. I just had an idea for Boaty's Bogs, the best bit. I kind of missed doing that silly offensive stuff that nobody watched, and excuse me, those who did watch it were jolly annoyed by it. So I got that up. And then I headed off to the Yard of Dreams. Went in Derrick this time for economy reasons. And picked Mustard up. We had a fantastic drive back. Stopped at Coombs Edge, top of Monk Road. Did a bit of recording. Well, Mustard did more than me. I actually recorded the whole journey, and I think, well, I'm not going to check it all. Obviously, I've been busy all day today, so I've not filmed anything else. So I'm just going to put it up there in two parts. Part one will be the motorway bit, and it'll just be, I don't know, watch it, don't watch it. I might pick some best bits out of it for some shorts, but I'm just going to put them up for the hell of it. I really enjoyed the journey. We had a really good chat, and I'm just going to whack it up there. In the way that I do. I'm not discerning, am I? Not by any manner of means. So, but it was genuinely, it was a really good journey. Got back here, made lunch. It was a bit late. So we didn't hang about long, made lunch, ate lunch, and then Mustard pretty much pissed off in Fanny. So as we speak now, Fanny is safely tucked up inside in the workshop of misguided optimism within the Yard of Dreams. And that's quite exciting. So Mustard and I, in our joint collaboration, we've got we've got the two black beasts in the yard at the moment, both of which are up for sale. Fanny, the MGF 2003 Freestyle, and the new boy, the Codfather, the MGZS 120 Stepspeed, which I actually think is quite a car. I just had time to watch the collection video that Mustard put up this evening, and yeah, that's a good video. He likes the car, I like the car, and it'll be a cracking car for somebody. And I've been told by my resident CVT expert that the Codfather is one of only 10 remaining Mark II ZS's on the road. So not just a really, really good car, but you know, a pretty rare car, a bit of a survivor. Low mileage, amazing history. I'll let you into a little bit of a secret. Mustard did a road test on it today, his normal put it under pressure road test, up Blackstone Edge, giving it the beans in the raving heat, and he couldn't find any mechanical issue with the car. So that's good news. It looks like it's it looks like that side of things is tickety-boo. It needs the headlining doing. It comes with a headlining, a separate one, a spare one. So the headlining would actually be really easy because you've already got that spare one. Take it to a trimmer or do it yourself. But a trimmer's only going to charge you like 100, 150 quid, something like that. Not a massive amount of money. Get that headlining done and just put the new headlining in, and that's it, job done. And you'd probably want to do the door cards as well, normal thing. But that's it really. The paintwork's all going to be done. Mustard will do all of that. The stickers will be removed, maybe not all of them, some of them actually look quite good, but the rest of them are obviously overkill. And you've got a rare MG ZS 120 Stepspeed, brilliant combination, that's got a full MOT, brand new MOT on it. One of those cars that has been maintained without regard to cost. You know, it came from a nice family, good owners, nice expensive house, lovely house actually in a beautiful area. They've clearly not been shy of spending money on the car. Whatever it's needed, it's had without question. And as anybody who's driven a ZS will know, they're a fantastic chassis. They drive well, you know, by a number of accounts. They are the best handling front wheel drive car of their time, or of other times as well. So I haven't driven a ZS, but obviously I've owned the 45. And that was absolutely brilliant. So this with the Steptronic box, which, you know, don't even argue with me. I've been in Shison tonight. I gave Shison the beans on the way home. That box is brilliant. And bear in mind, Shison is 1.6. Now, okay, the ZS is going to be a bit heavier. But the ZS has got the 1.8 in it, which is my favourite of the K series. It's going to be an absolute flying machine. I think the factory body kit looks brilliant. I think those 11-spoke dark gunmetal alloys look brilliant. It's going to be a fabulous, fabulous car for somebody. And bloody low mileage. 57,000 miles. Thank you very much. So, yeah. So that and Fanny on our for sale books. With Derek and Melanie Mingebag on the back burner. our sales books are looking quite nice and happy and healthy. Talking about Derek, and now Derek in theory is kind of, well, Derek is for sale. If you want to buy it, you can, but I would be very happy to keep it as my daily until Brian Johnston comes back. And to be honest, as we've said, saves me so much money, and I do love Derek, that probably not going anywhere, to be honest. But we have made the decision, or at least I have, and Paul's coming round to it, with the exception of Nigel, that all of my cars are theoretically for sale. Everything's for sale at the right price, and there are always new things coming along that you fall for, so everything is for sale. So if you wanted to buy Derek, you could. Now, Melanie Mingebag has obviously got the issue with the fan apparently not kicking in. I've not actually tested that, neither is Mustard, but Graham obviously did, and you know, Graham is trusted. Now, you know, you can drive it perfectly well, you just don't want to get caught in traffic. You would just have to turn the engine off, I suppose, if you were going to be stuck for a period of time. But obviously it needs sorting before it goes up for sale properly. So when Stigbürt is done, my plan is to swap them over. Take Mingebag down, bring Stigbürt back, and get the lads to have a quick look and see if they can diagnose the fan issue. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it was something dead simple. And then Mingebag can go up for sale. Well, will go up for sale. But again, it's a car that I wouldn't mind keeping. Actually, I'd love to keep it. So, and that's the reason for having all the rest of the stuff for sale, because if somebody wanted to buy one of the others in my fleet, I would very happily keep Mingebag. I love her to bits, she's great. But she will be for sale, and she is for sale now. If somebody wanted to buy her with the known issue of the fan not kicking in, you can buy her, no problem. Not a problem at all. So, there we are. There we are. Where did I get to? Oh, about there, wasn't it? Oh yeah, Paul Smortion. I like that. Yeah. My daughter says Cheeseburger has a MacBook. That is better than Windows, and everything interfaces well. It's just iPhone I don't rate. The iPhone's probably my least favourite of them. I love my iPads. iPad, I've only got one now. I've always worked with two iPads, but yeah, you know what happened there. Yeah. Mark on Motoring says, I've been open to the idea of having a Mac for years, and more recently the Mac Studio, but I can't afford one. I'm still using a decade-old PC for editing. I do all of my editing on the iPad. Yeah, I do. Life is much easier with two iPads. So when I'm due an upgrade, then I'll get the bigger iPad, which will make life a lot easier, and use this as my second iPad, and I'll get a new iPhone, which means that my current iPhone 11 can then become a camera phone as well. What I really should do with that bloody X is get rid of that X and see if I can get hold of a still nice working iPhone 7, which should have a slightly better camera than the iPhone 6, but still wouldn't have the microphone issues that developed with X and upwards, and would still be really light and small like my iPhone 6. I'd love to have an iPhone 7, and it would be a lot more use than that bloody iPhone X. So yeah, I should try and make that happening somehow. Tinkering with Pinky, followed by Debbie Does Dallas. Welcome to the adult channel. Indeed, Matt. Pure Evil, who is Adam, of course, says, evening, everyone. How are we all? A good evening to you, sir. Oh, yeah. Two Big Macs with no dill pickle. Well, I couldn't eat two, and the dill pickle are the best bit. I always get extra. It's free. Is the captain playing with Fanny? Yes, the captain is indeed playing with Fanny. Cheeseburger, who is determined to be a black cloud of doom, says Codfather is rare because most of them broke. I've been reading the forums today. Big problem is the release spring and you can't source them anymore. Wasn't aware of that. Wasn't aware of that. Oh dear. The comments flipping themselves from all to top whilst I'm trying to take a bath is most inconvenient, says Matt. I feel I'm missing bits that I should probably read before joining back in. Yeah. Chromebooks are better than MacBooks because nobody wants to steal them. Oh, well, that's like having a really, really ugly missus, so nobody will want to shag them. If that works for you, great. Wowzer! Boaty is wearing a t-shirt. What's next? Eating a Greg's? Not just any t-shirt. This is... Oh, can you see? This is my Boaty t-shirt. Boat Drinks. And if you didn't know, that's my name. That's what Boaty comes from. Boat Drinks. And my lovely friend Alan, known as Trops, he went back to the States to live for a couple of years, and he found this t-shirt, this Boaty t-shirt, and thought, well, I've got to buy that for him. So he bought it and sent it to me, and it is my favourite t-shirt. There you go. You won't catch me eating a Greg's. Not going to happen. I hate Apple products with a passion, says Simone. Apple Pay should be paying someone with apples. Granny Smith's preferably. Well, each to their own. Right, we're talking about revving. Adam says, I'll have to get the other 25 back on the road this summer so I can revel in the 6 to 7k RPM range with you, Matt. Oh, that's right, because Matt said, I hit the rev limiter in mine yesterday. The 1.4 hit 7k. Didn't actually take a mental note of the speed, but definitely over 60 miles an hour. I properly gave, once Shison was good and warm on the way home, I gave him a bit of stick. What an amazing car. And tomorrow, if I get a chance, if I get time, I'm going to do a double camera short film of the 0 to 100 in Shison, with one camera facing forward and the other camera on the instrument binnacle. So you can see the CVT working. You can see the speedometer going whoop, with the tachometer, rev counter, whatever the proper name is, that will be staying exactly on 4,500 revs. It's a weird thing. If you've never driven one, it's very weird, but very, very wonderful. I'm going to do that tomorrow, if I get a chance. Oh, Fanny, says Cheeseburger, my money is on the thermostat. Yeah, could well be. I mean, you know, I don't know any mechanical stuff. I haven't got a clue, but I understand there's a switch that is quite a common thing, something to do with the thermostat. or a sensor or something. I bet it's something simple. I bet it is. Because, oh God, that car drives fantastically. And funnily enough, going back to talking about the old Steptronic or Stepspeed, I reckon, and I might actually be proactive about this, I reckon my ultimate car is an MGTF Steptronic, and the MGTF with the pressy button gear change on the steering wheel. I want one of those, and I might put up a wanted advert in the forums saying, if anybody has got an MGTF Steptronic in silver, please sell it to me. And I would swap it for any of my cars, or I would sell any of my cars in order to buy it, because I reckon that would be my ultimate car. An MGTF, well, did they do it in an F? F or TF? I probably preferred an F, I think. I think the F is a nicer thing than a TF. It wasn't the best facelift, inside or outside. Some things are a bit better, I guess, but I think if you had an F and a TF, and let's face it, I do, I think you would always prefer the F. They're just better. It's a bit like the pre and post Project Drive thing, or the facelifted 25s and 45s. The earlier ones are just better, and the F is nicer than the TF, I think. But yeah, a Steptronic, Stepspeed, F/TF would pretty much be my ultimate car. And maybe this winter, that will be my task, to get one of those and to do whatever is necessary to get one of those. Either swapping it for fleet members, or just selling and buying and having that as next year's spring car. But obviously keeping Wetleg, obviously. And possibly Minge Bag as well. I'm just like a big child. I want all the toys. I want them all. I want them all. I don't want to let anybody else play with them. Now, where did I get to? Ah, yes, that's right. Excuse me. Oh, that's a private conversation. Apple get a thumbs down from Simon. They upgrade and lock out old machines too quickly. Do they? Really messes up making music when your hardware suddenly isn't compatible with newer machines. Well, they don't do it that quickly. I mean, they look after them for about 6 years, don't they? How much longer do you want? And the Macs and the laptop things, they go on forever. They're still supporting the iPhone 8, aren't they? I had an iPhone X until I got my Google Pixel, says Matt. The most annoying thing to me is they skipped the 9 and then called the 10 an X. Weird. Okay. Folder news, says Simon. What is your folder news, Simon? Tell us. Which cups? Oh, got no idea about that. Don't care. Yeah. Oh, Adam says, did they ever put the CVTs on the diesels? To the best of my knowledge, no. 0 to 100 in Shison, asked Cheeseburger. It won't be a YouTube short. Yes, it will. You can take the piss all you like, but Shison is a flying machine. In real terms, in real life, as in on the road, Shison is a flying machine. I've been telling you that for 18 months, and I proved it. I proved it with the driving home from work thing. Over 1 minute quicker than a ZT190. And a ZT190 is not a slow car. I challenge any of you, right? I will show you my driving home from work route. Come and drive it yourself in your car. See if you can beat Shison. You won't. You won't. You just won't. So yeah, 0 to 100, well, it'll be 0 to 100 kph cheeseburger. And it will be a YouTube short because YouTube shorts can be up to 60 seconds. And Shison will do 0 to 60 in, well, I know what it says in the brochure and I don't believe it. It's quicker than that. I reckon Shison will do 0 to 60 in about 8. And we might well find out tomorrow. Right, okay. Right, jolly good. Yeah, Simon's agreeing that the CVTs didn't go into the diesel. Too much torque. That's why they only put the step speed in the 120s. Even the 135 chucked out too much power for them to live with. Cheeseburger agrees also. I don't think they did. I've had step tire, yeah, right, okay. Mark on Motoring says, have recently driven a 2-litre KV6 and that changed up at over 7k RPM. Yeah, it did indeed. I watched that video and commented on it. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was a really, really good video. What am I hearing, asked Simon? The TF is a far better looking car. No, it isn't. And has many of the things on it that should have been on the F to start with. Well, you might have a point there, but it's got a lot, the TF has got a lot of things that really shouldn't be on it. Those stupid, blingy control knobs, all of that bollocks. So the TF isn't a better looking car, not by any manner of means. Actually, has it got anything on it that the F should have had from the start? I don't think it has. Because the facelifted F's got the adjustable steering wheel. Right, I'm pretty sure that the TF hasn't got a single advantage over the F. It's not as good looking. The interior isn't as nice. It's cheaper and nastier. Yeah, so you tell me, Simon, you tell me what the TF has got that the F didn't have and should have. Because I can't think of anything. Glad Margaret can't hear this nonsense. Well, Minchbag can hear it. Minchbag is right out there. Cheeseburger says, Simon, the retro look of the F is better. Correct. Even if TF is a better car, it isn't. I tried to use an iPhone, say Simone hated it. I reckon, actually, probably the ultimate MGF stroke TF is probably Fanny. The Freestyle, the last of the MGFs, with the spoiler, with the front splitter, with all of the leather, all of the goodies, everything that you could throw at it. That's probably the best of the bunch. Fanny is fantastic, in a different league to a TF. I mean, going from a Fanny to a TF is like going from a Rolls Royce to a Nissan Primera. They're both four-door cars. The Nissan in some ways would be better in theory, but you know, in reality, we all know how the land lies. Anyway, Simon, you're not exactly talking from a position of strength. You told us only last night you've never even driven an MGF. So how would you know? How would you know? How would you know? I've got both sitting outside. I've got a TF there and an F there. And until earlier today, I had a Fanny, which is, as I say, probably the best of the bunch. Anyway, oh God, still banging on about Apple stuff. Simon replies to Cheeseburger and says, I'm more a fan of the TF. Yeah, because you've got one and you've never even driven an MGF. I'm not much of a retro look fan unless it's an Abarth 595. Oh, right. Adam says to me, those are fighting words. Would be fun to try it, though I doubt any of us could match your home field advantage. Yeah, that was my suggestion, that you should come and drive my driving home from work route and try and beat Shison. You won't. Now, my friend Steve, Big Tall Steve, he has put on record that he reckons in his TVR he could do it in under 20 minutes. Could he, hairy arseholes? Could he arse? Could he arse? His big, massive V8 TVR would lose to Shison. Tell you. And again, I've driven them both. Oh, bugger off, Cheeseburger. Shison was quicker than Stigbürt because the RAC recovered Stigbürt. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I mean, it was the AA, not the RAC, and that wasn't on the driving home from work. For those who aren't members of the Facebook community group, Boaty's World on Facebook, well, one, why are you not a member? Two, have a look at the driving home from work leaderboard. Stigbürt is in second place. Only Shison was quicker. So no, it wasn't recovered by the RAC on the driving home from. You're such a shitbag, Cheeseburger. And you're annoying because you're like Matt. You're a really funny shitbag and you amuse me enormously. And I don't want to be amused by you. I want to be annoyed and you won't let me because you're too funny. Oh dear. What about the TFLE 500, Boaty? Asked Simone. I don't have any experience of it, to be honest. So I don't know. Simple as that. I don't know. I think I'm right in saying that the LE 500 was the TF that was sold under Chinese ownership. Is that right? No idea. I'd love to try one. I really would. I'm getting obsessed by Fs and TFs. And I'm not anti-TF. I wanted one. I've got one sitting there and I love it. And I may well put things in place to make sure that it stays there. But how can I put this? I love it because I've also got an F. And I think you need both. If you didn't have an F, you wouldn't enjoy the TF as much because you'd think about what you were missing. And vice versa. It's one of those cars where you need them both. And I suspected that would be the case. I've said from when I first got Wetleg and fell in love, I've said from then that I would love to get a later F or TF as well, because I suspect that they would be similar but quite different and complementary. And I think you definitely need both. Yeah, that's the answer. You need both. Having one or the other would be like having a left leg or a right leg. Nice things to have, but not as good as having them both, you know? Cheeseburger says TF has better suspension, but with a question mark. He's not sure. Again, a properly sorted hydrogas setup is an awesome suspension. It's a bit like the CVT box, people knock it. And it's a brilliant setup. And I will report on that shortly, because Wetleg is going to Graham at some point to get a nice new steering wheel and get her hydrogas all repumped and levelled and rejuiced and all of that shenanigans. So we'll be able to do a proper comparison then between F and TF in terms of suspension. Obviously the TF went to you know, a more standard spring system. If I had to guess, I would say that a properly set up hydrogas system is going to piss all over standard springs. There you go, I've said it. The ultimate modern MG ragtop, says Cheeseburger, was the RV8. I think I've told you the story before. I'm sure I have. Before the RV8 was released to the released on general sale, I had a go in one. The Gaydon, I think it's Gaydon chap, brought one to I had the showrooms then, and he brought one specifically to show me, and I'm afraid that I kind of laughed at it, and I said, so he was trying to sell it to me, not literally, but give me appreciation of it on the basis that it was that. It was a modern version of the classic. So I said, right. I said, so it's got power steering then? No, it's got sport steering. Right, okay. And no electric windows, no central locking? No, all sports. Right, I see. So it's just a slightly rebodied with leather and wood and a big old V8 shoehorned into it then. Right, yeah, okay. I didn't get it. I thought it was a bit pants, to be honest. I thought it was neither one thing or the other. And I was right, because it was a complete sales failure, unless you count China. Most of them went out to China. Okay, they've started coming back now, but nobody in the UK wanted one. They were too expensive, they were too heavy, and they were too flawed in design. I mean, what they really were, they started selling, and this was a very sensible move. They started selling new chassis for the MGB, right? Made total sense. And that was what led to the idea of the RV8. But they're not the ultimate anything. If you've ever driven one, no. They're not one thing or the other. They're not a classic. They're a lousy modern. They're just an ill thought through, expensive mishmash of one thing and another. Now, they're desirable now, of course they are, because they didn't sell well, and because they all went to China. But would you actually want one? Almost certainly not. You would much rather have a really good MGF, or you would much rather have an MGB Roadster with a nice V8, a well sorted V8 converted Roadster would be a much better car. The RV8 was, it was heavy, it was clunky, it was, the design was really quite naive. Maybe if I had experience of one now, maybe I would feel differently. I've not had recent experience. I've not been anywhere near an RV8 since they were brand Harry Spankers. So those were my opinions then. Maybe I would think differently now. I don't know. Mark says, I haven't yet driven the either the F or the TF, but I prefer the F styling these days. Of course you do. It's so much better. I dare say the TF was probably the styling refresh needed at the time. Yeah, it probably was. But now that they're both falling into classic or modern classic territory and they get judged on that, they're both effectively retro cars. The MGF, the original, just looks so much better. So much better. Simone has just booked tickets for the old Ford show at Gaydon next month. Fabulous. How many two-seater convertible sports cars do you need to own before you're out of the closet? I don't know, Matt. I don't know. I've always owned them. I had a Ferrari 355 GTB. Does that make me the biggest gay in the village? I was thinking about Ferraris, actually. When I was watching some of James's videos, now bear in mind that my Ferrari interaction or knowledge only goes up to the mid-90s. And I was looking at a video of James's 550 Maranello, and I think I need to drive that car. I must email him and try and sort that out, because I think that that could actually be my ultimate car. And I was thinking about my Ferrari history. I had a Mondial. All right, you know, abuse me, tell me that's not a real Ferrari. It kind of was, because I had the QV, I had the Quattro Valvole, I had a 328 GTB, I had a 400 and a 400i, and then I had the 355. And I reckon that I would love the 550 Maranello. I really enjoyed that video. Why am I talking about that? Oh yeah, because two-seater sports cars. I don't know how many you've got to have. I've probably had about 1,000. And I'm still not out of the closet. I'm still straight, or at least pretending to be straight if I'm... I'd have been a great gay. I really would. I've got and I've had lots of gay friends, and they've all said I'm a great loss to the gay community. And I wouldn't have minded being gay in the least. I just happen not to be. I enjoy their company very much. 20 minutes or a DNF, says Adam. Yeah, and I think that's in reference to my friend Steve doing the drive home from work route in his TVR. And Adam goes on to say, I'll have to... Oh, hang on. Simon says, read the drive home challenge. You need to do 3 runs in each car and use the average. Yeah, well, we'll get to that at some point. I've done 2 in Derek. Oh, I think there's something wrong with Derek. Obviously, I had Mustard in him today, and when Mustard saw how slow he was, he said, it's not supposed to be like this. there's something wrong with him. Maybe the math thing, whatever that is dodgy, needs sorting. So yeah, apparently he's not driving properly. He's not supposed to be that slow. So need to get that sorted and give Derek a proper run, because like I say, in the brochure, he's quicker than Shison, but you wouldn't bloody think so to drive him, but apparently he's not driving properly. So there we are. And yeah, the driving home from work thing, I'm going to be doing that forever. So there will be more runs. To be honest, I'm annoyed that I didn't take a camera mount, because it was a perfect night tonight to do it in Shison. And I would have done a second run in Shison. And the leading time in Shison was done in the wet, in the dark. Now, if I'd have done it tonight in the dry and when it was still quite light, I would have taken a minute off. I reckon I would have been down in the 23s in Shison, no problem at all. I had no traffic either. So maybe I'll do that next week. Oh, and on the driving home challenging, tomorrow night I'm planning to go in Wetleg, and I'm going to do the driving home challenge in Wetleg and see what she can do. So there we are. I'll have to try it at 3 a.m, says Adam, so there's a clean run traffic wise. Good idea. Boaty, says Mark, one of the quickest real world cars I ever owned was a Fiat 500 Twin Air 105 with its 875cc 2-cylinder turbo engine and close ratio 6-speed gearbox. Blimey. That sounds rather good fun, actually. Would you rather have a city Rover or a Chinese Streetwise, open bracket, stroke MG3SW, close bracket, asks Matt. Easy, I'd rather have a city Rover. Thank you. Simon says, LE500 is a TF with an N-series engine and a few extras and alterations. Oh, there you go. I know nothing about it. Matt says, unbelievable that Graham can source all these MGS for you at under £200 a pop. The man's a real legend. Okay, I don't really understand that. Oh, talking about real world fastest cars. Cheeseburger says, mine is a 435D Coupe, 4-wheel drive, sports handling and 55 mpg from 300 plus brake horse. I loved mine. My fastest real world car would probably be, oh God, what would it be? What, of all time? Well, I think I've gone on record as saying this before. Probably the twin turbo Toyota Supra I had. That was quick. That was properly quick. But would depend on the roads. Yeah, would depend on the roads. But yeah, as a real world A to B car, that's probably the quickest I've had. Simone says, a shame we never got the Roe, however you pronounce that, 750 over here. I kind of like the car. Do you know what? I've only seen pictures of it. I kind of do too. I'd love to get my hands on one. RV8, says Simon, was brought out to keep the MG brand around a little longer, wasn't it? Like a modern car with the classic features. It was brought out because they started remanufacturing the chassis. And it was just to kind of showcase that, I think. At the point that RV8 was brought out, then in terms of the future of the brand, then the MGF was the future, wasn't it? RV8, says Shrewsbury, I thought most went to Japan. They're a modern classic now, fetching strong money. They are indeed. I thought it was China rather than Japan that most went to, but I could very easily be wrong. I know it was one of the two. Maybe I got them mixed up. You can't find V8 MGBs or MGCs though, and they have Cowley 70s build quality. Yeah, but they've all been rebuilt, haven't they? I mean, you could rebuild them literally into new cars. You could buy the heritage body shell, you could buy the chassis, you could just totally rebuild them. Though why you'd want to do that with an MGC, which was a terrible car. I've spoken about MGCs before. Dreadful, dreadful mistake. The BV8 was always the way to go. MGCs used the Westminster 3-litre lump. It weighed more than the rest of the car, and it put the brake balance or the weight balance all out of whack. And they handled like, well, they just didn't handle. Price of car, says Simon, is still mad. S2000 for sale at the Lock Park for 23k. 23k, Jesus Christ. I love an S2000. I had both. I had the original, which I sold to Wally, the paint guy, and one of the later ones, and the recent one. Oh, right. Matt says, how many do you need to own at one time? Talking about two-seater sports cars. I'd like about 30, please. I've no interest in supercars, says Cheeseburger. I'll never be able to afford one. Oh, okay. Mark says, Boaty, I actually like the styling of the Mondial. In fact, oh, this is interesting. The 512 TR, 348 and 355 were all great looking cars. I would take issue with the 348. The 512 TR, was that a great looking car? I don't think it was. It was striking. It was a bag of shit to drive. And I didn't own one. Well, it wasn't a 512 TR, it was a Testarossa. But that was, I had one in my hands for about 2 months, and I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. 348, I've never even driven, just don't like the look of them. 355, stunning in every respect. I've always had an interest in the 456 GT2, don't know anything about that. Okay, this is all just like personal chat basically. Right, jolly good. Oh, look at the time, it's 10 past midnight. Well, it's about time to go, darlings. It is about time to go. Have I told you everything I wanted to tell you? Let me just think quickly. I've told you about today. That's all done. Nothing exciting is happening tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's it, really. I've got this amazing supper to have. God, I'm looking forward to this. I'm just going to make a bit of chopped salad to go with it. And that is just going to be the best thing ever. And yeah, I think we are good to go. So, hello, I'm here. Is it goodbye? Yes. Sorry. We should continue the theme of the F/TF debate, because I'm obsessed with the cars at the moment, and I'm probably not as certain as I sound because I'm still discovering the TF. I know there are things I don't like about the interior, and I know there are things that I love about the F. But vice versa works as well. So we should keep discussing that, and we should build up to an F/TF off with young Simon and his Margaret. And I was going to say it'd be quite cool to do it with Rob and his 160 as well, but I think he's flogging it, isn't he? I'm sure I saw an advert for it. He's got too many cars, that man. Not as many as me, but too many. Okay, right, let's bugger off. Let's bugger off, darlings. Hope you're all doing okay. And where are we? Where are we? Where's it gone? Ah, there we are. Oh, hidden comment. 2 hidden comments. Darlings, thank you so much for your company. It's been great fun. Oh, this arrived today. I forgot to tell you about that. Oh, and I forgot to give you all of the folder update and news. But tomorrow there will be a folder update because I ordered something from Amazon and it will arrive tomorrow and I will show it to you. And this will be involved as well and other things. And it will all be tremendously exciting. So we've all got something to look forward to. Have a safe and peaceful night. Take great care of yourselves. Have a great day tomorrow. Much love to you all and good night. Bye bye.